Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday. So, we're in my other craft room tonight because we're going to be using Brody. So, we're going to be digitizing the file and we're going to be using Brody. And I intended on being live by 7:30. I don't want to be here for long. But when I went to go live in this craft room, I have like my actual cameras and everything. I haven't moved them back to the other craft room. And so my software was outdated on my laptop. So when I went to go live at 7:30, I had to uninstall and reinstall the software for the camera that I'm going to be using tonight. And so, yeah, I had a little bit of drama starting out, and I'm a little bit off because my keyboard and my MacBook is underneath the camera. Like, it's just not aligned good. So I may not really be looking into the camera a lot today because we are going to be doing a little bit of designing. And if I'm looking here, I really can't look at the chat at all. So you know what? I'm gonna turn it on my phone. But hey, y'all! I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful week, or at least start to your week. I am. If this is your first time here, I'm Patrice. This is Craftable Things, and we craft quite a few things. Like we like to do a lot of things. I like to do sublimation. I like to work with my. Let me know if you guys hear echo. I like to work with my vinyl cutters. I have Cricut, Starcraft, Avor, um, Romeo, Caesar Romeo. I also do different printing. So I do DTF. I haven't shown this baby over here, but this is my UV DTF printer that I have. And then, of course, I like to do embroidery, and I also like to bling. But y'all, I am in love with crocheting. I love crocheting. I would prefer to be crocheting tonight, but um, we're doing this. Okay, so I am gonna try to like rotate different crafts throughout the month so that we can kind of cover a few things that we all like. But bling, crochet, and embroidery are definitely my favorites. I do have on Friday night, we are going to do, because tonight I wasn't sure if I wanted to do an embroidery project with the EM-1010. A lot of you guys have been asking me about working with the EM-1010 a little bit more live. I'm going to do some content with the EM-1010, and also quite a few of you have been asking me about showing stuff in Embrilliance. So we're going to go into Embrilliance. I used to use Embrilliance a lot, but I usually use Chroma uh, because I just like the program a little bit more. But there's no particular reason. I like the program more because I like the setup of the program. I just find it a little bit, a little bit easier for me. But we're going to go into Embrilliance. We're going to create a simple in the hoop project. We're going to be making the Stuffie, but I am going to show you guys how to get to this Stuffie. Okay, well, at least how to make your own design. And that also includes me going into softwares like Adobe Illustrator or Silhouette Studio and creating a vector file. And for those of you who may be a little bit new to designing a vector file, it works with lines. So that's what really helps with making digitizing a lot easier for me. I do like to create my files beforehand. I don't like to create anything inside of the digitizing software. You can use PNGs, but with PNGs, you will be creating your own outline. So why not vectorize it before so you don't have to be the one to do that? That's what we have. Let's see who's here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. I this is weird. I kind of got used to the other craft room, y'all. I don't even have my curtain up to have my little kitchen. Yeah, but we're here. All right, let's see who's here. But hey, everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. It's a lot of y'all here, and I'm a little tardy, kind of per the usual. But hey, Mylene, welcome in. Hey, Terry. Hey, Porgy Town. Hey, Miss Sharon Davenport. Hey, Miss Cheryl H. Hey, Mirror Bear. Y'all, Marilyn has Embrilliance now. So she put up a video last night or a little bit yesterday evening. And it was about installing fonts in Embrilliance. So definitely check that out. I typically do all of my font work inside of Adobe Illustrator or Silhouette Studio, and then I bring it into whatever digitizing software that I'm using. But you can use fonts inside of Embrilliance. Yeah, like I can use some of my system fonts in Embrilliance and then convert them into stitches, but there's some manipulation that I do have to do when I'm doing that. So I just prefer to do it all inside of Silhouette Studio. It's a lot easier. But yeah. Hey Sharon Davenport, I see you. Hey girl. Hey DB. Hey Marta. Hey Terry. Hey Creative Notions. Hey Miss Linda. Hey Danny. Hey y'all. All right, I'm scrolling down because I know. Hey Miss Cheryl Green. I don't want to keep everybody on for so long. And this is a very simple project to do. So I would definitely tell you guys, if you are working with Embrilliance, to work with me, because you're going to get this done in no time. We'll be done with this very, very soon. Okay. It's not going to be quick. It's not going to be that long because I'm a little bit tired. Hey, Robin S. Hey, Fern. Welcome in. Hey, Tung Yu. All right. Hey, Anna Smith. Hey, Mona. Hey, Jennifer Ricci. All right, y'all. Hey, Renee. Tell Cannoli I said hey with that tail. Cannoli with the tail. All right, y'all. Hey, Miss Geneva. I'm scrolling all the way down. Let's see. Let's see. I'm scrolling all the way down. All the way down. Diane says she loves crocheting. I love crocheting. Hey, Niall. Hey, Cookie Cook. Cookie Cook. Hey, Juana. And Lillian Boone. Hey, Iconic Touch, Miss Sadie, Donzel. Just scrolling down. Thank you, DB. Hey, Ruby, Miss Jazzy G Charles, Shelly. Hey, Old School Music Kimball, how have you been? Hey, Stacy A there. Stacy, which machine did you end up getting? Hey, Mama Girl 31. All right, y'all, I'm scrolling all the way down because it's just going to be a lot. All right. Hey, Aunt Wanda. Yeah, I don't even have time to crochet at work. I wish. My lunchtime, I'm eating with students during my lunchtime. They really, really, really think that I want to have lunch with them. They really and truly believe that I want to have lunch with them. And I'm just like, who wants to have lunch with their teacher? Like, don't you want to go and have lunch like with your friends, with your peers who you have something in common with? And they don't. All right, so if you just got here, this is what we're about to design. We're going to, I'm going to actually start from the beginning. We'll vectorize this file. This is how I make my stuffies. It's very, very simple. This isn't in the Hoop project. So if you are unfamiliar with in the Hoop projects are projects that can be completed on your embroidery machine, all done in a Hoop. Now, you can do something like this on a sewing machine. These eyes are stitched on. I don't know if you guys can see that, but these eyes are stitched on. You can do this with the sewing machine. The eyes would be a little bit tricky. You may just get like plastic eyes to put there if that's something that you want to do. So you definitely can do it on a sewing machine, but we are going to be using our embroidery machine to get that done. Tonight we are going to be working with Brody. Brody is my Ricoma EM-1010. It was my first multi-needle machine, and we're going to be working with Brody. I know some of you have asked me over the past 2 weeks, how do you install the Mighty Hoops onto the Brody? We will be using a Mighty Hoop with Brody, but I will show you how I use my Mighty Hoops with Brody, and then I'll also show you how to get into the back end of your Ricoma embroidery machine and do that with this type of machine. Now, I don't like to change the parameters on my machine for the other hoops because I just don't. And honestly, I don't even use those other hoops much with the machine anymore, the ones that came with it. But I'm just a little like, I just, that's just something I don't like to do. But I will show you how to do it. All you need is your the measurements from the website that they give you for their hoops. So you need to know what the sewing area, the sewing field is for your mighty hoop. So we'll do a few things with Brody. If you guys want to look a little bit more at Brody, another time I will try to rotate him in. I know that most of my embroidery projects have been with, as of late, has been with the um, Marquis 2001, but I can try to incorporate a little bit more. Y'all know my channel is not a full embroidery channel. I like to do all the things. It's kind of hard. But hey, hey, Miss Mimi. No worries. All right. So we're going to head into a Silhouette Studio. I already have the PNG of this file. We're going to convert this file into an SVG in Silhouette Studio. Again, I prefer working with SVGs because I've heard from some of you guys that you don't like to have to, trace the design when you have it in your digitizing software, like click your nodes, right? But you have to do that in order for you to get those stitch lines. So to prevent you from having to do that too much, we're going to vectorize the file. Okay, so that way it'll already go in with the outlines, because that's really all you're doing is creating an outline. Okay, unless you're doing a satin border, but we're not going to be looking at satin borders right now. Today we're going to solely work with run stitches. Okay, we're going to solely work with run stitches. Let me I'm going to add my screen. Oh, I'll show you guys what we're going to be using for this too. So for tonight, we're going to be using a MINKY fabric. And y'all, my JOANN is closing. All of the JOANNs in South Florida is closing. All of the JOANNs in Miami, all the JOANNs in Fort Lauderdale. So if you live in the South Florida area and you like JOANN, you're going to have to go to Jensen Beach. That's going to be the nearest JOANN. Okay, so kind of sucks. I'm not really happy about that, but it is what it is. That's going to be our life. Okay, but we do have a Mood Fabric shop in North Miami. If you are in South Florida, there is a Mood Fabric shop. But y'all know Mood, the prices at Mood for their fabric is not comparable to JOANN. I'm just gonna let you know that. So these are the MINKY fabrics that I have, and I got these from JOANN. I got a pink, purple, oh, kind of tealish, not really teal. What color is this? Aqua? I don't know. Got yellow, a bumpy yellow, and I got like a plaid one. These are all colors that I thought were very appropriate for Easter. We're gonna see how many of these we'll make. Maybe one, maybe two. This literally takes 5 minutes to make. Now on the one that we have here that I did, I put a name on it. You can customize it. We're not going to work with customizing. I'll tell you at what point you will add the customization on. We're not going to do it tonight. We're going to solely focus on creating the actual stuffy. Okay. Maybe another night we'll move in, but I think we need to do like some beginner stuff. Here we also have polyfill that I got. I picked this up from JOANN. Another thing, they don't even have all the stuff on sale. Like I'm waiting for things to go on sale, and I really think that they're gonna put the machines, like they're just gonna ship the machines to another store that's gonna stay open, and sell them there and not put them on sale. But I hope so. So we have this is just polyfill for us to stuff the peak. I also have fabric glue, but you can stitch this up. I'm gonna use fabric glue. I don't feel like threading a needle. This does last. So I'm going to be using this fabric glue that I have. And I also have like some wood clamps to just clamp it together so that it can dry. I pulled out my chopstick because it was actually over there already. So I just pulled out my chopstick to kind of help stuff those ears. This size is about a 3 by 6. Can you make this smaller? You can make it smaller. It doesn't have to be this big, but we make keep it around the same size. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to be using cutaway stabilizer, but you can use tearaway stabilizer. You don't have to use cutaway stabilizer for this. And then for the when we get ready to stitch, I also have don't fall. I also have water soluble stabilizer that goes on top as you're stitching, like when you're if you're making eyes, definitely when you're making the name, so that it can like actually stitch on top of the pile here. So this is what we're going to use. But to be quite honest with you, I'll probably forget to even use it. So that's usually what happens. So I think that's everything we have. We're going to be working. We're going to go into Silhouette Studio first, and then we'll look at. We'll head into Embrilliance. Uh-oh. Make it bigger. You can make it bigger. You can definitely make it bigger. So it doesn't have to be smaller. If you guys want to do a big one, I can do a big one because I'm going to be using my 8 by 13 Mighty Hoop. So I can make it a little bit bigger so that you guys could see it bigger. I could do that. That's cool. Hey Latricia. Hey Miss Gail. All right, y'all. So hey Janie. Yes, all my stores. I could not believe Shamika, our store is only 20% off. It's only 20% off. It's so crazy. So I won't be going to JOANN. You can still order online. I think maybe that's where they're going to move towards. Is just mostly ordering online. Of course, you need some fabric scissors. I'm going to be cutting fabric with my rotary, and I also have some scissors to use too. So we'll do that. I did not do much maintenance on my machine, and my trim is off because I need to open up the bottom plate. I'm not doing that, and I came home too late to do it. I actually want to wear my shirt. Y'all, if you guys did not see Miss Merlinda's live yesterday, oh, you guys missed it. I wanted to wear this shirt, and I put it out for me to wear, but I was not going to have time to go, and I was already trying to connect the printer and reinstall, not the printer, the camera, and reinstall it. But y'all, so I made this shirt yesterday over at Miss Merlinda's. Did it not come out so cute? I shared the link in the community tab in case you want to see the live. Miss Merlinda invited Marilyn and I on with her yesterday to make this project, and we used the chunky yarn. I even purchased more chunky yarn because I made another file, and it just says "Be kind," and I wanted to use like colorful, chunky yarn. But I love how this came out. Like I love it. So I wanted to wear it today, but tonight, but maybe Friday, maybe Friday. All right, let's do this. Thanks, CB. Thanks, y'all. And Miss Merlinda and Marilyn showed how to do it with a single needle machine. I used the Marquis Broski. If you guys don't know, this is Brody, and Broski is in the other craft room. And I used the Marquis, but Miss Merlinda and Marilyn, they used the single needle machine to embroider on to do their project. So if you have a single needle machine, you definitely want to check out that live. It was very informative, and I believe Miss Merlinda is making content to show a shorter video, a shorter tutorial. So, Mylene, it is not a sale. It's like they have no sales really. Like you had to get your stuff last week. Thanks, y'all. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see. And Marilyn did it without a presser foot. Yes, she did. Okay, let me share my screen. Hopefully, we won't have any issues with this setup tonight, but oh my goodness, here goes Google Chrome is accessing your screen. Okay, because I just don't know why. Entire screen. Don't give me any drama, please. Don't give me any drama tonight. All right, it looks like we're pretty good. All right, so we're going to start out in Silhouette Studio. And this is the business edition. And honestly, guys, I think this is one of the best things. If you are a crafter, I love Adobe Illustrator, but I know Adobe Illustrator can be pricey and it is subscription based. I'm not a fan of anything that is subscription based, but I'm gonna be with Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, all the Adobe suites until the wheels fall off. Okay, I mean I just love Adobe. But if you don't want to spend that much on a or on a graphic design software, Silhouette Studio is pretty good. I know a lot of people promote Canva and like there's so many other things. I, it's not like a Cricut Design Space, not even Leonardo Design Studio, especially if you have a MacBook. Silhouette Studio is the real deal. And if you go back to any of my other videos, like years ago when I first started showing things on YouTube, I did not want anything to do with Silhouette Studio. I didn't. I was Adobe 100%. I'm Adobe like 95% now, 5% Silhouette Studio. Maybe a little bit more because I can do my bling designs in Silhouette Studio. But there is no subscription fee for Silhouette Studio. You pay the one-time fee and it's yours. You can put it on two different devices and it does almost all the things. It's not as good as Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, but it's pretty amazing. And I've tested out a lot of softwares. I've used tons of softwares. Corel's not bad, but that's not my thing. I've done a lot of softwares. Silhouette Studio, the business edition, opens up so many different opportunities for you. You can also save your files as SVGs or PNGs or PDFs. You can do several different things in Silhouette Studio, not just rhinestones. So, and it's a one-time fee. You don't have to keep paying for it monthly. And when you use Silhouette Studio, whatever you save on Silhouette Studio or whatever file you make, you can use that with any of your cutters. You can use it with any of your cutters, and you only have to pay that one-time fee. I just thought I would say that again. So we're going to be in Silhouette Studio because, and it's actually very affordable. I think it's like less than $100. Sometimes you can get it for $50. Hold on, let me put my chat up because I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat, y'all. I can't see the chat. All right, so let's get ready to bring that file in. I'm just going to change my page size. It's correct. It's a 12 by 12. So we're going to bring in, now I got this peep file. Remember, this is peeps are trademarked. So I do not recommend selling it. If you make a file, I do not recommend selling the file. Shit, I really don't even recommend sharing the file. Remember, it is trademarked. Okay. And so you're not going to find any legal SVGs of this particular design. Just know that, or this shape. Okay. That belongs to somebody. All right. So we are going to go to File, and I'm going to click Merge, and I'm not going to show you guys how to get it, but I am going to show you guys how I'm going to turn this into how I'm going to turn this into a, okay, I don't want that one, into a Stuffie, just like I turned my menu into a Stuffie. All right, so here's my, I think this is it. I probably should have looked at this first before yeah, probably should have, but let's see what we're going to look at today. Oh, that's it. All right. So here is the file. As you guys see, you have like a little warning sign here. This warning sign lets you know that you have a PNG. And of course, it's letting you know like if the resolution is low and that sort of thing. Yeah. It's only for the whole, yes. I need to find a file. Yes, Latricia, if you want to follow along, you'll have to find a file. Yeah. Hey, Dolonda Patrice. Dolonda Patrice. All right, so let's go. Hey, Robin Murphy. Okay, so this is a file. This is a PNG file, okay, of two peeps. Now, can you create this file on your own? We could. If you look at this, this is just three different shapes, right? So you have a circle here, more so an oval there, and then you have something that kind of actually looks like a heart. You can literally put those three shapes together, distort it, manipulate it however you want, and you will be able to have this shape. And then you just draw your three circles here, okay? If that makes you happy. I'm going to show you how to trace this design so that it will create the outlines for you. Okay, that's what you really want because it's going to create the outlines. If we were to take this just like this as a PNG into Embrilliance, you're going to have to make the outline yourself. And that's where you're going to have to start placing those nodes around the design to trace the shape. Okay, we're going to do the shape right here. Right, so I have both of, well, this is just one image. We're going to head over to the right about the fifth row down, and this is where you're going to access the trace panel. Okay, so we're going to open up the trace panel. No, Janie, this file isn't from Creative Fabrica. It's from Google. It's from Delonda. I told everybody that this is trademarked, peeps. That's why I'm not even offering the file. If you find it, you find it. It's trademarked. Yes. So don't come with your shenanigans, Delonda, either. I was being very professional and very serious. Even though I came 15 minutes late, I showed up professionally. All right, so let's get ready to trace our peeps. And to trace the peeps, what we're going to do is you can, when you're in the trace panel, you can either trace an area, which this is the first trace option, or you can trace by color. Okay, so depending on what you're doing, some things are necessary, right? Now, depending on the PNG, these are pretty basic PNGs, and we can look more at another time when you have a design that has several different colors and how that looks when you want to trace by color. But for tonight, we're going to keep it pretty simple. Okay, so let's hey Angel Boo, hey Coretta, hey friend. Thank you, Mylene. See, you understand me. You know the truth. See, I don't even have to worry about it. You know. So we can trace by area. And tracing by area, you're simply going to click the trace by area option, and then you're going to say select trace area. Once you do select trace area, let's say we're just going to go here and let's put it on all of that. Now I could just do this one because, to be quite honest, the pink is just the same shape as the blue. It's not a different shape. Okay, so right now it's just doing, okay, do we want to do a solid fill? If you do a solid fill, if you notice, it only has the eyes that it traced, right? So if I increase the threshold, it'll start to get everything. But I don't really want that. I kind of want, I want to see what I'll be able to get here. Let's see. And that's just not giving me what I really, 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 really want. So let's go to outline. And let's see what that does for us. So we want to see if it gives us an outline shape. So let's see if we can get it all full. Not so much. Not really. So we're going to go back. I'm going to go back to solid fill. I'm going to reduce the threshold. And we are going to, I'm going to keep those eyes. So I'm going to click trace and detach. Oh, I don't want to trace and detach. I'll show you what trace and detach does, and then I'm going to undo that. So I click trace and detach, and so when I move the bunny over, it traced and detached the eyes from the image. It also removed the bunny because I had that just selected and not the pink. So there's several different ways you can do it. I generally don't like to do trace and detach because sometimes I like to still use that background image. And so I won't necessarily always do a trace and detach. Okay, so we're going to go back. I'm going to close out of that. And then I am going to go back. We're going to click by color. Okay, So I'm going to do trace by color. Let's trace the eyes first. And then here you have where you have single area or all areas. We want to do all areas. So that way it'll get everything that we need. Okay, and then I'm just going to increase the tolerance so that it'll get the whole shape. If you notice when the tolerance was at about 2%, you see those speckles there? Let me make it a little bit bigger. You see the speckles? That's how it's going to trace it. So I don't really want that, right? So I want to get a full area like that. That looks really good. Okay, so I'm going to select trace because I don't want to do trace and detach because I don't want to detach it from the image. Oh, Elba, what's wrong? You feel better? Hey, Brandon. Hey, Kelly White and Rondrea. Hey, y'all. It's always Solanga's fault. So if you look here now, you'll see that there's red outlines around the eyes and the nose, right? So if I click there, it's still gonna keep me here. Let me see. But see if I move it over. But what I want to show you guys is that, so you notice how the outline of the bunny, it has almost like it has that black color. So it picked up that same color around the outline. And this is why it's good to like move the things around so that you can see it. So before we trace the other part of the bunny, I'm going to remove all of that because I overdid it when I did the tolerance. So I'm just going to right click and we're going to select release compound path. Once we select release compound path, and this is very, very important for you to do because you don't want these little lines right here. Your system considers that part of the design. And so you want to make sure you take your design into your digitizing software and it's clean. You don't want any extra drama. Okay, so of course it takes my computer a little bit of time to release compound path. Oh, we all hope you feel better, Elba. Hey, Marta. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Hey, Arlen Landers. All right. So y'all see all of these small specks there that just showed? We're about to delete all of that. So I'm just going to select these right here. I'm going to right click. I'm going to group that together. And then we're going to actually, let's turn it. We don't really need to turn it brown or black, but let's move it over here. Okay, we're going to leave that like that. Okay, so then I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of that because that will cause us so many problems. I'm going to delete that. All right, so let's get ready to trace the blue. We're only going to trace the blue because that's all we really need, to be honest. So I'm going to trace the blue by color. I'm selecting the color. And I want to, the tolerance is still, okay, now that's looking better. Because I want my outline to be nice and clean. Okay, I overdid it as usual. Let me just go down a little bit. All right, so we're good. All right, so I'm going to select trace again. Once I do trace, now it's going to trace just that. And to be quite honest, I could have traced that entire, let's say, okay, let me undo that. I'll show you guys what that looks like. So now we actually just have our bunny, okay? Now I can go back in. Let's say I just want to go back and I just want to trace this. I'm going to go back to trace area and we're going to select, we're going to put, we're going to select trace area and then I'm going to draw a box around that peak. And then I want to get the whole thing, so I'm going to amp up that. And then we're going to click trace. All right, so I actually don't need this anymore. So I showed you guys kind of like two ways of doing it with the trace area or how we did the trace by color. Now, if I select here and I do a right click and I release the compound path, so I know a lot of people get confused about compound paths and releasing the compound paths. Right now, if I take this into Cricut, Cricut will look at this as one thing. It won't look at the eyes. It'll just cut the eyes out, right? Um, it looks at it as one. When you release the compound path, now it breaks that down. So now there's four pieces. And so those same eyes that when I showed you guys when we did it by color and just selected the eyes, they're right here now. So if you look here, the eyes and the nose, and I move that out of the way, guess what? It's exactly what we want. So we did it a few different ways so that you can see like there's multiple ways to trace and to get what you need. Like if you need to pull something out, whatever the case is. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't need this. I only need that first part. And I don't need our image anymore. So this will work with anything that you may want to do. Okay. So I'm going to keep this here. And then we're just going to bring this over here. Now, if I wanted to add a name to this, because Latricia wants us to do a big one. So if I was to add a name, I'd go ahead right now and I would do the name now. Like I would set up the name. I don't really think I want to add a name. With this, you can add a name now, or if you wanted to put vinyl on it, you can. Like for the one that we did, I did have a name on here. But I'm not gonna stitch out a name on here. However, if we were to put a name, let's say I'm going to put Brooklyn again. And let's see if we were to do this in a script font. You want to go ahead and set this up like you're going to be cutting this out on your Cricut cutter or Romeo cutter. You want to set it up that way. Okay, so I'm going to go to... all right, so let's make this a little bit larger. Oh, that's not a good one. I thought that was a script font. It kind of looked script-like, but it is not. I don't want that one. What's this? I don't like. Oh, I like that one, but I don't want that one. No. I don't know what I want, y'all. Because I had it planned on even showing this. Okay, let's go with autumn and November. All right, so you guys see, so you know that when you get ready to cut this out, each of those letters will cut separately, right? And this will cut into that. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead, before you take it into your software, you want to go ahead and weld this together. Okay, so what I will do is I would go ahead, I'd ungroup it first. And then after I ungroup it, I will go and weld it. Once it's welded, if you notice, all of those overlapping parts joined. You see, nothing's showing that it's going to be cutting into the next letter. All right, so that's what you want. You want to take this into your software just like this. Okay, this is already a compound path because it's all touching anyway. But sometimes I find that when I'm taking text, certain text, I don't want it in a compound path. I don't want it to be together. Like it just makes it so much easier. If you get this part down packed and you create your files before going into the digitizing software, it makes your life so much more easier when you're trying to digitize. Because remember, your digitizing software is just going to try to follow the compound path, or it's going to try to follow however the system is telling it to go, and you don't really have much control over it. So you have to pick and choose when you use it. Okay, but this is how I would take that in. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and save it. We're done with creating our outlines. Okay, your stitches start from basic outlines. Okay, so that's why we took that PNG file and we turned it into SVG. Could we have taken the PNG directly into Embrilliance? Yes, but that's just more work. Okay, so let me go over here. I'm going to go to file. What size did we say this is? Well, right now it's about 10, almost 10.5 inches high and about a little over 5 inches wide. We'll keep it like this because Latricia wants to do a big one. We're not putting a name on it. I'll take it in my class and put it on my couch. All right, so we're gonna click save. There's a few you can save as, save to hard drive. We're gonna save this to hard drive because we're gonna save it as the SVG. But let's just say I had everything else still on my canvas. Like I still had the picture and I still had the other eyes on there. I would then go to save selection and then I would do save to hard drive because it would only save that. But we're going to go to save as. I'm going to click save to hard drive. Yeah, you can adjust it and then load. Yes, Jane. All right, so let's. Oh, well, I just always ungroup it first. I always ungroup it. So I like to ungroup the text because I need to see what size it's going to be. Because when you type in the text, it doesn't give you the exact size because it gives you that extra space, but you really don't have to. It's just a habit that I have. It's a habit that I have. All right, so let's do Peaks Craft Tea Live. So that way I'll remember. And then we're going to save this into our document. And I'm going to change this. So remember how I told you with Silhouette Studio, the business edition, you'll be able to save this multiple ways. So of course you'll be able to save this as a studio file, but then you can also save it as an SVG. You can save it as a PNG, JPEG, GSP, or PDF. Okay, we're going to be saving this as an SVG. Hey, Miss Martha Jordan. All right, so here we go. Let's go to OK. Okay, so now we're going to head into Embrilliance. I am going to close out Silhouette Studio because y'all, my computer. I did do SVG, didn't I? I hope I did. Let me click cancel. Let me see what I saved this as first. Oh, cancel. Empty trash. See, I had to download that the webcam. All right, so yep, we have it as an SVG. I just needed to make sure because I thought I saved things sometimes and I didn't. I don't want to have to go back over that again. All right, so let's go into Embrilliance. So this is Embrilliance, okay? So I've used Essentials, Stitch Artist, 123, Enthusiast. So I don't know what you have for your Embrilliance. I can only tell you what I have for my Embrilliance, okay? And I generally use Chroma mostly, okay? But before, when I just used my brother, I used I don't know if you guys can see that. I think that's in the way. I use Embrilliance. All right, so let's get ready and bring in our design. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the create design mode, and we are just going to select here. It looks like an arrow with a playing deck of cards, at least in my opinion, but that may not be what it is. So we're gonna select that. Awesome, Miss Martha Jordan. And so as you see, when I selected create designs, it changed the options. It changed the toolbar up here. Okay, so you can import an image. You would select where it has image here. I want to make this screen bigger. Hold on, you guys don't need to see my face. Where is it at? Full screen. All right, so up here you have image and then you have vector. So vector is what we created, the SVG. But if you had an image, then you would bring that here. So let's say this is for a PNG. Let's say if I was going to do that PNG that I have in my desktop, I would go ahead and find it. And this would be it. And this is what we would pull in. Okay. And then you would have to go, and then you would work with this. All right. We're not working with that. You can. I think one night if you guys want to do where we work with the PNG, I can and show you how to do, trace it and do this, but we're not doing that for today. Okay, so I'm just going to delete it. I just want to show you guys. Now you have your vector. You can also do text here. So I have this T. If I click onto that, it opens up a font box and I can select any text that's on my computer and use it here. You just type in what you want to say, and I can use it there and turn that into stitches. Okay, there's several different things that I could do with that. These are other options that you have of different things that you can do. Um, this is if you're going to be drawing your points. These are the different stitch types that you'll have. This is none, run, a satin border, I think satin applique maybe, motor fraud. So you have all these different options. And here, this is kind of where you would work with like your welding, flattening of certain things and stuff like that here. But I do most of this outside of Embrilliance. And honestly, I do most of it outside of Chroma. I don't consider them to be true design softwares, so I don't really use them like that. All right, so we're going to head back over to Vector, and that's your SVG file that we created. Remember, Vector works with lines. It's the outline. It's what we would have to create if I were to if I would have kept the PNG that we just brought in. I would have to create the outline, but we just did that in Silhouette Studio. So let's select Vector. And once you select Vector, you'll only have your SVG files that you'll be able to bring in. You see here where they're all highlighted. All of my SVGs are available for me to bring in. So this is the one that we just did. Thank you, Mrs. Karen G. For BX fonts. Oh, so Marilyn showed last night how to bring in the BX fonts. Or to do it in a different. Latricia, it's basically the same thing. So what I'm going to show you guys, even though I'm doing it in Embrilliance, I've had several people ask me to do stuff in Embrilliance and to use Brody, my fave over here. And that's why I'm showing it. But what I'm showing you guys now, you can do this in other softwares. It's basically the same thing. So now we're going to get ready to create the in the hoop design for our peep. Okay. I would recommend having a notebook or a cheat sheet or something like that so that you can kind of map out how you want this to stitch. So I know that for my peep, I'm gonna stitch out, I need either a placement stitch or the tack down stitch first. Now, if you don't want to waste your material, I would totally recommend doing a placement stitch first, then doing a tack down stitch, and then stitching anything else you want to stitch on. Okay, so the peep is going to be faced up. We're not going to have to put any material underneath or anything like that. We're going to create the first part of the design. Okay, now as you see right here, we have our peep right here. Okay, it came in as the SVG. Now the size of it is, it's what we had it at. I want to hide that. Let me hide it. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. I thought I would be able to hide it, but I wasn't able to hide it. It's okay. All right, I did. All right, so it's about a little over 5 inches wide and a little over 10 inches high. Okay, we're going to keep it at that size. So the next thing we're going to do is, with this version of Embrilliance that I have, I don't have to plot any of these notes, because if you look, when I clicked onto the peep, these are already the nodes that we would generally have to do. So because we did it this way, we don't have to do that. Okay, so we already have it here, and we also have it here for our eyes. Okay, so I'm going to actually change the eyes. Let's see, we want to do that. We'll wait to do that. We'll do that later. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create the run stitch. All right, to create the run stitch with this particular version, remember, Embrilliance has so many different levels. They have so many different add-ons. With what I have, we're just simply going to select the run stitch. So again, you have all of your different stitches here. You have quite a few stitches that you can use in Embrilliance. Okay, I'm going to select the run stitch. And remember, the run stitch is just a stitch around the outline, around the shape. Okay, so once I select run, here we have our run stitch. So if I click on the stitch simulator, we'll be able to see just how that's going to stitch out. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is, even with it like this, you can change how, like where it starts. So if you look here, this is our start and stop point. You can change your start and stop point by simply clicking onto, I clicked the wrong, did I click the right thing? Hold on, because I can't ever see good. So if we click on here, let's see. I don't want to do that because I'm moving the whole thing. I don't want to move my eyes. I need to click on the thing. Okay, let's click here. So if we, I need to do that again. Hold on. Let me just click over here and do the run. I don't really want this to be run. All right, we'll fix that later. All right, so if you look here, let me make this, turn this up some. We click here onto our stitch. Come on, stitch. You can move your start and stop option here. I don't want to keep making it too big. Uh-oh. Okay, let me click here. So let's say if I want to move my start option here, I can click there and just drag it. So that's your start, right? Let's say if I want it to start over on the left. You see how I just moved that over on the left? So now once I get ready to do the stitch simulator and we get ready to start it, you see how it starts on the other side. That's all I was trying to show y'all. It's this drama. I should be using my mouse, but I'm just using the mouse pad. You see how when I moved that, it started over on the other side. So it's totally up to you, like how you want it to start and where you want it to, you know, how you want it to go. So let me just undo this because, yeah. All right, let me make this bigger. I should grab the mouse, but I don't want to. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, we have this all done. Now the eyes and the nose, because this was all grouped together, it automatically just turned that into run stitches, but I don't want that to be a run stitch. I don't want that to be a run stitch. So I'm going to change this. And we're going to go back into our design. So we're going to turn the eyes into a fill. So I'm just going to select fill here. And we're still going to look at the run stitch again, but we're going to turn the eyes into fill. And I'm going to change the color. And I want to use, let's use black. Well, that's coconuts. We'll just do any color. Well, coconut's going to be fine today. Okay. So now I have my eyes and I have my run stitch. Now this is going to be the first layer. Okay. This is going to be the very first thing that we do. I did not create a placement stitch or anything like that. This is what I want to stitch on top of that first piece of fabric that we put down. Okay. So we have our eyes. At this point, you may also want to go ahead and put your name. Okay, well, if you're going to put a name on here, you may want to go ahead and put your name. You know, I put it right there. That's where I would put it. But, you know, wherever you want to put it, you could even maybe put like a little heart there. Wherever you want to put, you could put your stuff there. Okay, so now let's look at the stitches. So this is the run stitch. I have it selected. And if you look over here, we have another panel that opened up over here on the right. Hey, Tianda. Hey, girl. Jasmine, I'm making a peep, a stuffy. All right. Hey, Angela and Stitches. Hey, Zarika and Shay Shay. Add Shay Shay. Girl. And I was thinking of using pink, but I don't know now. So Here we have the run stitch. So right now this is just going to be a single run stitch. You can change your stitch length. Okay, so for this one, because it's really just going to be, it's not really like the final tack down stitch, I'm going to increase it to 3 millimeters. Now I could keep it at 2.5, but I'm going to keep this at 3 millimeters. But when we get ready to stitch the two parts together, I am going to decrease the stitch length. Okay. Now, when you're working with run stitches in Embrilliance, they have several different options. Again, this is based off of the version that I have. I like softwares, y'all. So I have I have a lot of softwares. Okay, I like softwares because I like to learn the different things, and then I find which one I like best, and then I kind of stick with that one. So you can have a single stitch, you can have a double stitch, you can change that to a bean stitch, and then you can change your passes, like how many times you're actually going to do a bean stitch for the last part when we're stitching the two pieces of fabric together. Um, you also can do a chain stitch. If you guys notice, it's, it's changing. You see the chain stitch? That's considered another type of run stitch. They have a back stitch. They have a stem stitch. That's a shiko stitch. So these are the options that we have. Now, every software is different. Some softwares have these options, some don't. So that's why I do like to have multiple softwares, because I can get different stitches with this than I get with uh, Chroma. So if I wanted to do, something different, I could do it here. Or if, and some things that Chroma has and Brilliance doesn't have. So that's why I do like to have both. I don't necessarily recommend for you to get Chroma because it is subscription based. I do not like subscription based things except Adobe. So if you can do everything that you need to do without a subscription, then that's fine. Just like in Brilliance, there's no subscription, but you're going to keep paying for those add-ons. But I can tell you that it is cheaper having Embrilliance than it is having a subscription for Chroma. Chroma before, in the past, you didn't have to have a subscription. About a little less than a year ago, they changed Chroma to where you have to have a subscription. So there are several options out there for you guys. I'm not going to tell you guys to get something where you got to pay monthly for it when you can get something, that's comparable for a flat fee. All right. So we're going to change this back to a single stitch, but I just kind of want to show you guys that so that you could, you'll know the difference. All right. So let's go back. It upped it to 3.5 millimeters. I'm going to leave it at 3.5 millimeters. All right. So now we're going to select the eyes and the nose. And then we're just going to go down here and work with that. All right. All right, let's see. Let me go. Come on. Okay, come on, eyes. All right, so when you select fill, so remember the way that we did the eyes and the nose, and I just want you guys to know this is a pretty basic overview of us creating the Stuffie. Something easy if you're just getting into digitizing and embroidery. This is something easy that you can do. It's only dealing with run stitches. Maybe next week, I don't want to say that that's what I'm going to do next week, but maybe next week we can do another design, either in Chroma, because over the weekends we usually do So Good, which is mostly dedicated to, it is dedicated to the marquee. So I could kind of show you something else in Embrilliance. All right, so probably we'll see, Tuesday maybe. All right, so right now this is what you call a tatami stitch. There, it's a very tight stitch, kind of creates like a solid color for you. You can change that inside of Chroma. You can change the density, and the density really just means like how tight those stitches are, like without space. You don't want your density to be too small, because if it is, sometimes you could experience thread breaks and it can make that area of the design very, very stiff. So it's up to you. I usually keep mine, most of my designs, I usually have a 3 millimeter density level that I kind of stick to. This is at a 4. Because this is, it's not really something that I'm going to wear. I'm going to actually keep it at the 4 that's here. But you can also change, there's several different things you can change. You can change the stitch length. Right here it's a 3.5. That's something that I always, I also adjust. And then also the pattern. So right now we have that as at a tatami, but you can change it to a brick. I don't know if you guys can see that good. I just want you guys to see like the difference. So we had it at tatami first. So this was the tatami stitch. You can change it to a brick. You guys see how that brick looks? You can also change it to a snake, and you guys see it just changes the way that it stitches. It changes the fill. You see the waves, and these stitches, like in chroma we have a brick, but we don't have waves. We don't have, you know that's another waves. So these are all fills that you can change, the fill of what you're doing. These are just scales. You have a cornrow 1, cornrow 2, and then you have like diamond shape. So that, I just want you guys to see like the different options that you have to actually change it. Okay, so then you can change your stitch length. I'm going to leave it at a 3.5. I'm not really going to change much here. I'm not really going to change much. You can also here, we're going to keep it very, very light and simple, but you can change your pull composition. You can add a gradient. So you guys know that's almost like my favorite ombre. You can add a gradient to the design where you're mixing two different colored threads together. Um, there's different things you can do to do here. And this is the feather. You can feather the fill. Okay. So you have several options. A lot of these options are different in different softwares. The terminology may be a little bit different, but it's the concept is the same. Okay, so just so that you know that, maybe we'll get into something more. I will suggest, and I always let everybody know this, I learned a lot from Romero Threads. I don't catch him often anymore, but when I was first starting out, I think Barb suggested Romero Threads to me, and Romero Threads, like he's a teacher. He's teaching the software. You're not going to get any fluff and anything. If you're going there, you're going to need to be serious. You're going to need your notebook so that you can take notes, because he gets straight to the point and he explains a lot of different things to you. Okay. And the reasons why certain things need to be a certain way, or how to digitize. Like he's a true digitizer. Okay, so I would definitely recommend checking Romero Threads out. Check out his older videos. He does, I think he still goes live um, to show like how to digitize and what the composition should be and a pull should be, if there should be a pull, all that. Like, he's legit. So I would definitely check him out. All right, so we're gonna change this back to Tommy, because we're not gonna. I'm gonna leave this as is. Okay. Hold on, let's see. All right, so let's go back. Oh, hey, Patrick. All right, so let's go back a little bit smaller. So now we have our first part, which is going to be the tack down. The red is the tack down, and we have the eyes. Now, remember I said like you want to have your notebook so you can list the steps, so that you'll know the steps of how everything should stitch out, right? So the first thing, and if you look over here on the side, this will tell you. So now you have your run stitch, and then you have your fill, right? So we already know that the first thing that's going to be stitched down is the outline of our peep. And the second thing is going to be the eyes and the nose, okay? And that's going to be the tatami, the fill stitch. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is, I'm just going to select the run stitch here, and I'm going to copy and paste that. And the reason why I'm going to copy and paste that, because the third thing that I want to have for us is, I want to have the next piece of fabric that's going to go on the back. So we're thinking of, in the hoop, we're thinking of a full project that we're going to be doing. So we have the first part here, the front, and then we're going to stitch the back piece of fabric on. So if you have your notes, like if you're doing this or any other type of project that you may be doing like this, then you're going to want to write this down, because this is all something that we're going to be doing in the hoop. Okay, so let's do a right click, I'm going to select copy, and then I am going to place over. Okay, I'm going to place over. So we're going to select place over. And so now that's right on top. And if you look right here, this is very important for you to look at the layers panel, because you have your 2 run stitches and it placed it right on top. But if you notice, our eyes and nose is underneath the second outline of the peak. If I were to say, you know what, I'm all done, we're all good, guess what? This will stitch together, and then this will stitch on the back. The nose and the eyes will stitch on the back. So the order is very, very, very important. So I'm going to take this one right here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to move that to last. So I'm just reordering the steps of our stitch out. Okay. So I also want to change that color, because when you're doing embroidery, color, like the colors, all that stuff does matter. So we're going to change this color to, let's change the color to green. We're going to have green back. All right. So now we have all of our parts. We have the first run stitch, we have the fill stitch, which is going to be the eyes and the nose, and then we have that last stitch, which this is going to be the back, that last piece that's going to piece everything together, right? So I want to change my stitch length, and I'm also going to change this to a bean stitch. So I'm going to change, and I'm only changing the green. If you notice, I have the green highlighted, just the green. Okay. Hold on. Yep, there's Patch. We have Patch Artist. Yep. Who? Oh, are you talking? No. Who are you talking to, Niall? You guys are talking to each other. Enjoy. All right, so I'm going to change type to bean. And then the stitch length here is 3.5. Now this is kind of like when you're doing like applique too. When you're doing applique, you don't want to have a large stitch length. So we're going to actually bring this down. I'm going to bring this down to 2 millimeters. Okay. And if you notice, if you look down here at the bottom, you'll see where the stitches, it increased. So your stitch length does change the amount of stitches that you're going to use, okay, or that your machine will need to stitch out. But we're going to change this back to 2. All right, there we go. All right, so now we have our first stitch, which is going to be the stitch that tacks down our material. We have the eyes and we have the nose, and now we have that back part. But because I'm going to be placing this, it's going to be face to face. That means if I stitch this like this, the inner part, the part that should be on the outside, is going to be closed in. So now we have to kind of adjust the stitches a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and we're going to bring it up. Now what I want to do is I want to create an opening here on this layer with the green, with that last stitch. Okay, I want to create an opening. So to create that opening, we're going to, and that's so that we can flip it right side out, and then we could also stuff it, and then we'll sew it, or we're going to glue ours back together. All right, so I'm going to select our little peep, and then we're just going to go up here, and this, you can do several different things here. Like here you're drawing, you can create, you can do your nodes. If you guys want, one day we could just chill out and place the nodes on like a PNG file, but these are so many different options here. Okay, but we're going to select this here. It looks like a little lasso where it says close open outline, and we're going to head down here and we're going to select one of these nodes. Okay, and here we have our node right here that we selected. Okay, and if you notice, we have our little red circle right here. Okay, that created, it kind of like sliced that in half. So now we can go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to delete some of these. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to delete that one. I'm going to delete some of these nodes. So I'm going to click onto the red node right there, and I'm just going to delete. And if you notice, once we delete it, it opened up a small little space. Now that space is kind of, it's going to be very narrow. I'm not going to be able to stuff everything that I want to stuff inside of the peep. So I'm going to keep deleting. I'm going to delete some of these nodes just to create an opening. And that opening is only going to be for the green layer. So that green part, that's going to be the only part that's going to have that opening. So if you notice, we have our start point here. It's going to start here. It's going to go all the way around, and then that's going to be your end point. Okay? That's going to be the end point. Hey, Carrie's Craft. Thank you. Hey, Rachel. All right, so we're just deleting. I'm just opening up more. Okay, I'm just clicking onto that. I'm going to open it up a little bit more. Now you can take your, you can even open it up a little bit more. All right, so I think that may be good enough. I think that may be good enough. I don't want to have to use too much glue, but there is a ruler here that you can click onto this ruler so that you can kind of measure and you can see like how much, you know, how much your opening is. Okay, and then just look at the bottom, it tells you. Okay, you can take your ruler, measure the space, and if you see, you can see, okay, it's about, that's a little bit over 2 inches. That's going to be perfect for us. And you can kind of measure that too with your squares. You can see that as well, but you know, that's just another option for you. All right, so right now I'm actually pretty happy with um with our design. Again, if you wanted to put a name on, you would add that name right here. So in between, or look over on the layers panel, in between this last circle, which is probably the nose, you would want to maybe input the name there if you're going to put a name. Okay, that's where you would put it. And then, of course, you would just have it here on your peep, wherever you want it to be on the peep. All right, I think that's it. The only other thing that I would tell you that maybe you may want to create a placement stitch before this stitch so that you can know exactly where to put your material. You could do that. Or when I'm doing things and I'm not trying to share the file because I don't want to confuse anybody, all I'll do is I'll stitch this out first, and then I'll go back, and then I'll put my fabric down, and then I'll stitch it out again. So it's up to you guys, like what you want to do. But if you want me to show how I would just create, like all I would do again here is I would just do right click. Uh-oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go back over here. I would do copy, and then I would do a paste over again. So now I'd have my placement stitch, tack down, then it's going to fill in the eyes and the nose, and then it's going to create the back layer for us. All right, we're really done, y'all. Like we're done with this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready to save this because we're all done. So I'm going to go to File. Now you can save your working file, which is what we're doing now. We're working with that, and Embrilliance has a exchange of a BE. That's their exchange. But we're going to be using the Ricoma. I'm not going to work on this again because I have another file already saved like this. But we're going to be using the Ricoma, and so we need to save the stitch file, and we're going to be saving the stitch file as a DST, as a .dst. Now, I do want to show you, if you go to print, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen, if you've ever gotten one of my embroidery files, you see that I have the instruction sheet. I actually get that instruction sheet, unless it's something that I have to write out. I get the instruction sheet from here, from going into the printout. So, and it'll tell me what to do. So if you look right here, over here on page 3, it tells us, what to do. Okay. So let me see. I'm going to save this as a PDF, and then we're going to open it. Okay. So I'm going to click Save as PDF. And this is just saving the run sheet. Okay. We're going to say this is a Peeps Mirror Bear. Luckily, I have a bell in this craft room too. Peeps run sheet. Thank you, Marilyn. Why are you like this? I gotta ring the bell. I know you guys can't see me ring the bell. I hope you can hear it. I don't have my mic. Thank you, Marilyn. Merlin. Thank you guys. Thanks so much, y'all. Oh, thanks all the way, Realty Group. Thank the people who kept sending me messages. Thank them. And I finally listened to them. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I want to show you guys that run sheet. So this way you'll know. I'm not saying that, if you learn how to do this for you to go sell designs, but you guys know how I feel about digital products and selling and things like that. Once you know what you're doing, you can totally sell your digital files. You can't sell this Peeps. I don't recommend selling Peeps. I just got to say that again. But if you create something, you can totally sell it, right? So this is where you could get your instruction sheet from. So here it's just showing you the bunny and how it should be centered. My eyes may be a little bit off, but it's fine. My regular eyes are a little bit off, so it doesn't matter. And this is your run sheet. So it'll tell you right here. And so instead of printing it out, guys, I just saved it as a PDF. Okay. Here is your run sheet. And so the first thing it's telling you what it's doing now. So it's showing you that this is only 630 stitches. And the next thing it's showing you are the eyes. You can't really tell too much, but whatever you're supposed to be doing, it's darker. Okay, it's a little bit darker. So if you notice here, the eyes are kind of grayed out. You have your outline that is more prominent. So that's 630 stitches. You have your eyes. The eyes are 1026 stitches. And then you have the lemon line, which is the outer part that we're going to be doing right here. And that's 1700 or 1785 stitches. Okay, so that is, you can literally, what I do is, y'all, when I'm in Chroma, because I usually do it in Chroma, I'll go ahead and do me like a screenshot. And when I do my screenshot, all I do is crop and paste the color area that I need, and then I have it right there. And then you can always add any text over here. If you want to add text, you can add text like, okay, let's say you say, okay, this is going to be your placement stitch. This is going to be your tack down stitch and that sort of thing. All right, so let's go back. Now, another thing that I did notice that I need to change is that, so remember when I did the placement and I added that extra stitch there for a placement stitch. I'm actually going to change this color of the second one, because if I don't, my embroidery machine is just going to stitch the color out the same. Like it's just going to keep stitching. So we need to change that. So we're going to change this to, let's just change it to gray. Like, why not? All right. And so that's another reason why it's really good to look at the run sheet, so that you know what's, especially before you share it, or if you want to sell, you want to know, let me make sure this is okay. That's very important. Okay, your run sheets are very, very important. Before you even stitch out anything, that's the first thing that's going to let you know if something is wrong. All right, so we're done with that. Awesome, Rachel. Hey, ATV marketing. All right, y'all. So we're all done. Now I'm going to go to file, and now we're actually going to save the stitch file. Okay, so I'm going to select save stitch file. Let me grab, so I'm going to be saving this on my USB. And I'm just putting this into my computer right now. Uh-oh, I don't want to drop my charger. All right, let's hope it comes up. If not, I may have to get my other dongle, because I don't see it coming up, y'all. I'm gonna have to get my other dongle. This dongle always gives me a little bit of an issue, but it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't want to cooperate. So before I save it, I'm gonna go through something with you. If you guys notice, by default already, or the first file that came up, it says .dst. It's perfect for me because I'm using my Ricoma. Okay, there we go. So we're just gonna say Peeps Crafty Live. All right. And so I'm going to save it as a DST. Again, now remember, if you have like a brother, then you'll use PES. So with Embrilliance, you can save this as so many different files. I can tell you that the files that I saved as are the first six files, the first six file types. So anytime I'm saving a file, especially if I'm going to share it or sell it, I save it as a PES, DST, EXP, HUS, JEF, and VP3. So those are the top six types to save it as. Okay, the top six file types to save it as. Okay, but you still have the option to save it as other file types. Now, I don't know if you have other what other versions you may have, or if you don't have the versions that I have, if you'll be able to save it as all of these. I don't remember uh, all of the different things that come with the different levels. I don't. I'm sorry, but for the levels I have essentials, stitch artist 1, 2, 3, patch artists, enthusiasts. Like I have a, I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna save this as a DST because that's what the Ricoma embroidery machine needs. I'm gonna save it onto my no name drive, and we're gonna select save. Okay, Evelyn Warner. All right, so we're all saved. Let me just go back to my no name file just to make sure it's there. And it is there. All right, so we're gonna go back. Let me undo. I'm gonna take this out. Let me eject it out. And then hopefully the camera will still be on when I turn this off. All right, so we're all done with our computer work for today. Hopefully you guys, hopefully this was helpful. Let me stop sharing. Hopefully this was helpful. We're going to get ready to move over to Brody in a few minutes. So this is actually going to be, I'm going to bring over the table first though. We're going to add the table. I'm going to, oh, not me. Oh, not me. Thank you, Rachel and Miss Linda. Hey, Kristen. All right, so this is what we're making. I did not put a name, but remember I told you guys where you would add your name and at what part you'll add your name to it. Okay, we're not adding a name, and we're also doing a larger one. This one is about 3x6. It's like a little over 3x6. The one that we're doing now is like 5x10, a little over 5x10. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead before we cut our fabric. I am going to hoop our design. I don't have my hooping station in here because I forgot to bring it from the other classroom, and I'm not going back there to do that. I'll get someone to do it. So we're going to go ahead and hoop it. And I could actually, I don't even need to be big. Let me make the screen bigger. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we have our mighty hoop, and then I'm just going to cut a piece of this stabilizer. This is, I have some poly mesh stabilizer in here. I'm not using that. You can also use a tearaway stabilizer with this. Also, I'm going to use this black stabilizer because that's what I have in here. But you can use a tearaway stabilizer for this as well. I'm just going to cut this just like this. I'm not measuring it. Hopefully my line could stay straight. If not, it's going to be fine. I'll just have to cut out another piece. Okay, so here we have our stabilizer, and we're going to, hopefully this is going to hoop right. I like to use the hooping station because I don't know what happens. Like my stabilizer starts to buckle, and then my stabilizer starts looking like Miss Merlinda's stabilizer. And I don't want it to look like her stabilizer because y'all saw her stabilizer the other day. If you did not see that video from yesterday with Marilyn and I over at Picture Me Crafting's YouTube channel, you want to check it out. Oh, that was good. Look at that. Look at the back. Miss Merlinda, this is what your back is supposed to look like. You see it? And it should sound, y'all hear that? It sounds like a drum. It sounds like a drum. All right, so we're all hooped. I'm going to get ready to cut our fabric. So I think I'm gonna go with, because I'm gonna actually take this in my class. Um, at first, I wanted to use this one for my peep, but I think I may use this for something else, and I may actually go and get more of this fabric because I like it. I think I'm just gonna go with the teal um peep. But this isn't really teal. What color is that, y'all? It's not teal, but it's kind of close. Aqua something. Now I could also mix this. Let's say if I did the top part this color, and then I could do like a two-toned peep, and the back could be like this. I could do different things. Let's see. We may do that. Y'all know I don't like, you know, regular stuff. So now I just need to get this. We're gonna cut this. I need about like a 6 by 10. This needs to be like a 6 by 10, because it's about five. Really could be 5.5, but I like to have a little bit of extra space when I'm doing it. I'm getting just know that this MINKY fabric, and for those of you who are just coming in, this is MINKY fabric. It's called MINKY fabric. I got this fabric from JOANN. While I can, I'm gonna have to go get some more. It's different, y'all. Like, I like to go in and like feel the fabric and look at it and stuff like that. I don't like this at all. Okay, I'm actually gonna move this down here because we're gonna do. I'm just gonna slice it up. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna do a 6 by 11. That's what we're gonna do. 6 by 11. Okay, move it up somewhere. And I don't use it often. Let me see where it is. I don't see my shower grips, y'all. Oh, there are my shower grips right here. So for those of you who don't know, Evie had us all go out and buy these shower grips for cutting. I love the pink and gray. So the shower grip, it's so that your hand can stay far away from the blade, and because Evie had a major scare. All right, so we're just gonna go and we're just gonna cut. And I actually should have just folded this in half because I need 2 pieces of this. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the yellow. Let's see how I cut. Did I cut good? I didn't cut that good. Y'all, this did not cut good. I probably need to get me a new blade. Oh, it's coming apart. I could just, you know what? I'm just gonna get my scissors and cut that. For this cut, I can see the cuts. Yeah. We're gonna do the yellow too. Okay, so we're good there. Let me move this one. Let's do the yellow. Let's have a two-toned peep. I wish I would have got. Now I wish I would have got the blue in this color. But I have some. Marilyn had this color. Marilyn, do you have it in blue? You want to see me some? All right, let's get our fabric out. And I'm going to do the same size. So you need 2 pieces the same size. Remember, both parts are the same. Okay. On that sheet that we saved, you're going to write down your steps on there too. So that if you share it or if you sell it to somebody, you have this, you're giving them the steps on that sheet so they'll know at which step. Okay, take this off, hoop your hoop with this stabilizer. Then the next step you'll write down, place your fabric, press start on the machine. Then the next step is, after that stitch is done, place your fabric down. Then the next step is going to be your tack down stitch. Okay, that did fine. Maybe I just didn't put a lot of elbow into it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I put like a lot of strength in here. All right, so we have our two pieces. This is literally all we need for this project right now. We will be using, oh yeah, I moved my Recreate in here, the pink one in here. I was gonna move the other one in here, but it may be a little bit too crowded. It might be a little bit too crowded. All right, so these are the two pieces that we're gonna use. This is gonna be the first piece that goes down. I should have used a better piece, but we're gonna go with this one. This is gonna be the first piece that goes down, okay? So I'm trying to think if I need anything before we head over to the machine. We're ready to head to the machine. Let me add little Brody over here. Yo, I know you guys have missed Brody tremendously. Brody has missed y'all too. Brody has missed you too. Okay. Let me make Brody a little bit bigger. And we're gonna be spending most of the next few minutes with Brody. Pink and white. See, I have black. What else? I was thinking of doing it with the yellow and then have the eyes on here and we have like a little bumpy peak. But for this one, I'm going to keep the teal. I'm going to keep the teal. I think I did. I think we have enough. So this is about how large it's going to be. All right. So let's head over to the machine. I am going to hoop Brody. Remove little Brody. And we're just going to hoop. And again, remember how like the other day on So Good we were talking about the mighty hoops. So these are all, these brackets work with this machine. Okay, it doesn't work with all the machines. All right, so it works with this model of the machine. So you do have to be specific when you're ordering mighty hoops. Okay, so now we're clicked in. Let me exit out of here. Exit. Yes. Yes. Okay, so this is the old panel. That's the old panel. Okay, it's not the newer one is a little, more high tech. Kind of looks like an iPad. We're going to let me move this back to one. This is the 13 by 8-inch hoop, or 8 by 13. So I'm gonna go to file. Well, let me get my flash drive. So to get the file, we need to pull it off of the USB that I saved it on, or the flash drive that I saved it on. And we're gonna go to file. And then I'm going to select exit out, come on back. Let's go to file. There we go. So it's this one right here. Peace. And so you did a little preview of what it looks like. I don't want to leave this video. You did a little preview of what it looks like. And so I'm just going to select that, and then I'm going to select this little button here, and that tells it that I want this to go on the machine, because right now it's only on my flash drive. So I'm going to select here. So now it should be onto the machine. So now I'm going to select the machine over here. And come on, machine. There you go. And then I'm just going to keep going all the way over. I have 8 pages of files on this machine. Now, can you delete files off? You can. So you see how this file, let's say if I select that file, if I select the X, that'll delete the files off of the machine. Okay? So it's very easy. Like you go to whatever file, you just click the file. Let's say if I want to click this one right here that I did earlier, and I want to select that X, delete design. Okay? So now that design is gone. All right? The other thing that I did not point out when we were in the software was the amount of stitches for this file. This file has 3,472 stitches. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? At least decent. Hey, Evie Boo. Hey, Evie. Hey, Barb. Can you guys hear me? So I deleted that. So now I just need to select this file because I want that onto the machine. So I'm going to select OK. All right. So right now, as y'all see, this is too big for that hoop that we have. Now I'm going to go here to design set. And where you have design set, this is where you'll be able to do a lot of different things. So I want to rotate this, but I want to make sure I go and select the right hoop. So the hoop that I have selected is the D hoop, which is 310 by 210. I told you guys before that I would tell you like how I do it. So that's one of the system hoops, and I just for the 8 by 13, that's what I use, and that's what I find that works for me. I do still have to trace it just to make sure that it doesn't hit the borders of the hoop, but that's the one that works for me, and I don't have to change anything else. Okay, so we're gonna stick with the D hoop. That's 310 by 210. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to rotate this because right now this is of course is too big. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select right here, and then we're going to rotate it. If you notice, it's just going to go to the left. So let me click that. I'm going to click OK, and then it turned it for me. It rotated. So now it can fit in that hoop. I just can't stitch it out straight up. It had to flip over, and we'll still be able to get us a nice size piece. Okay, so I'm just going to select OK. Right here is where you would go ahead and adjust. Let's say if you wanted to make it 90%, like reduce it by 10%, or you can increase it by 10%. You would do that here by clicking there. Okay, that's where you would be able to change that. All right, here you can add some, but this design is too big. If you guys want us to do that, we can do that another time. But for now, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to click escape. All right, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go in here very, very briefly so that you guys can see this part. So we have embroidery parameters. All right, that's embroidery parameters. And this is where like all of like you could change your entire machine in this area. I'm very careful when I go in here. Okay, so if you look here, you see where they have like the different things: jump to trim, blend after trim. I never touch any of these things. Trim function, yes. It's just a lot of different things, right? So if you click here, oh, let me see that. If you click here, it looks like a hoop with some tools. Here's where you would change your hoops. Okay, this is where you would add your mighty hoops. So this is your so right here. This is your X center and your Y center. So if you've ever graphed, you know that you work with an X axis and a Y axis, right? Well, your machine works with X's and Y's too. So when you put your new machine, your new hoop on, like the mighty hoop, you want to go in before you get to the screen, and you want to jot down that center point when you put your hoop on. And you want to jot down those numbers, and here's where you will enter those numbers. Now, you may want to select a hoop that you never really use, right? Because you don't want to select a hoop that you do use. But here's where you would put the X center of the hoop and the Y center. So once you have your mighty hoop on your machine and it's centered, don't think of anything else. You're going to center it with those arrows. Once you have it centered, then you're going to put what that X axis number is and what that Y axis number is. You're then going to go into your X size and your Y size. I know y'all can't see that because it's so small. You're then going to go into your X size and your Y size. And your X size and Y size is, okay, it's an 8 by 13. So then you're going to need to get that in, I think, in millimeters. I think you're going to have to get it in millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. But once you convert that, and they have conversion software or calculators on Google. So once you type in, okay, convert 13 inches into millimeters, what is that? It's going to give you that number, and so you'll put that for your X axis. Then you convert the 8. What is that? Then you put that number for your Y axis. So let's say if we were to pick the B hoop right here, we would need to jot that data here. Okay, now these are pretty round. They're a little round. They're not super round, but they do have round edges. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. That's how you will put your mighty hoops in. You can reset it to the factory setting. Okay, I just don't do it. I don't do it. I set it up however I'm going to set it up. All right, so now that's it. Kind of showed y'all a little bit about that. That's another question that I have. If we need to do that in more detail, let me know. Oh, I don't want to move you guys just yet. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is now that we have our design on the screen in the hoop, we need to select our colors. Right now it just says 00. Okay, if we press start, it's going to automatically go to the first thread, the first slot. So we need to change that. So I'm going to go ahead. I am going to select those 3 slots there. And remember, this has 4 stops. If you print it out or if you opened up your run sheet, and the run sheet is, that's what the run sheet is, what I showed you guys, the order of your stitch out. If you open that up, as you guys saw, we had 4. When I showed you guys, we had 3, but remember I added the tack down stitch or the placement stitch. So there's 4 different color stops. Okay, so this is where this comes in at. So now we need to make sure we have a color selected for each color slot. Okay, so I'm using the teal and the yellow. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use a teal, 1, 2, 3, the teal color, I think. I don't have yellow on here, so we're stuck with teal. All right, but you kind of want to use the same color as your fabric. It says I'm using I'm going to do a 2-tone peak. So let's go ahead. So I'm going to select 3 because that's the color slot of the teal. So 3 is going to go in this first slot right here. I'm on 3. 3. And the second slot, the second slot, remember, that's going to be the eyes. No. That's going to be another, that's going to be the tack down stitch. So that's the placement stitch. Then we're going to do a 3 for the tack down stitch. Then for the eyes, we're just going to go with black eyes. Black eyes. And then for that final stitch, which is going to be the last layer that we created for the back, we're going to do another teal. Because I don't have yellow for that side, so we're just going to do teal. Okay? So we have all that set up. Another thing when you're doing this type of project, remember again, we started, this is an in the hoop project. So you never want your machine to run on automatic, because when it runs on automatic, it just runs through. So if you're working and you have a design that you just need to select the colors, that's fine. But when you have a design like this that you have to stop, you want to make sure you set it at automatic manual. And to do that, if you go 3 down, you have NA, and then you have, this is your automatic manual. You don't want it on manual because it's not going to, you'll think your colors are going to change. It's not. So you want to change it to, it has automatic first. You want to change it to automatic manual, and it says A/M. That's going to be A/M, and then that will give you your color stops. Okay, so now we're going to select OK. And we're practically ready to go. The only thing left for us to do now is for us to trace the design. Okay, so we're going to trace the design to make sure that it doesn't hit anything. All right, so I'm going to bring you, and the trace button is right here. That's your trace button. You have a trace button, and then once we get into the trace, we can actually do a more contoured type of trace. It's 755. All right, let me see if I can do this good. All right, looks like we might be ready. All right, so I'm going to select the trace button, and of course, I'm going to pull out my chopsticks, and we're going to just, and let me turn on the light. Hopefully you guys can see. All right, so I'm just going to hold this down, and we're going to do the trace. Enter embroidery status, yes. All right, that looks good. All right, that looks good. All right, so, and if we wanted to do a more contour trace, you would just press the 1, and it's going to start. It's a little bit slower, but it actually goes around the entire design. The other one just kind of goes around the area, like the perimeter of the design, but this actually goes the shape of the design. See how it's coming in, and it's going to go back out for that top part. Uh-oh. How y'all here? Hey, Smart Creations. Anybody that came in and I missed, I'm so sorry. So I missed you. I can't really see the chat. The chat is on this screen over here, but I can't really see it. Okay, run the thing good. All right. So that one is a little bit slower, but it actually gives you a more detailed idea of how it's going to stitch out and where it's going to go. Okay. So now we're going to get ready to click start. All right. Let's go to start. I'm pressing start on the machine. Hopefully I have it correctly. All right. So this is the placement stitch. Oh, y'all can't see that. Maybe you can see that a little bit better. No, can't see that really. Oh, you can see it a little bit. So remember, we haven't put any actually, let me take this table off. We haven't put any fabric on. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the placement, the tack down stitch. This is the placement stitch. The next thing we're gonna do is the tack down stitch. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm just moving that out of the way. So then we're gonna put this, and we want to put this right on top to cover. Now, if you feel more comfortable using some of this 505 that Barb recommended to us to keep it in place, you can so that it doesn't shift. I'm not really worried about it shifting, but you want to make sure that you cover, that this is covered, right? You want to make sure all of it is covered. So I'm just going to pull that up a little bit because I still have a little bit of room there. Okay. So if you want to make sure, just making sure, I don't want it to be at the edge of the design. I want it to be, that's why I cut it a little bit larger. Okay. This is the one time I also wouldn't recommend like cutting something like how you want to pre-cut a piece of fabric or something for that. I wouldn't recommend that for this. Only because of the manipulation of you having to turn it inside out and stuff like that. All right, so let's get ready. And plus, you want to make sure that those stitches are nice. You still want a little bit outside. So let's get ready to start. This is gonna do the tack down stitch. And this is just tacking the material down. And we're not going to cut. All right. Okay. So if you see, it stops after each part. Okay. So this is already, you guys can see the outline of the peak. Okay. So the next thing it's going to do is it's going to stitch the eyes and the nose. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to press start. And it's going to start stitching. Oh, I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to float. So I don't know if you guys remember, if you don't know how to float, let's say if you start something and you're like, oh, I need to stop. So what I did was I pressed stop, and then I cut the thread, and then now I'm gonna float it. I'm gonna press that stop button right there, and we're just gonna float it. A lot of times I'll make a mistake and press these arrows instead of these arrows. These arrows float your machine, meaning it will take it back stitches or move it forward stitches. Okay, so I'm just gonna press that, and we're gonna go right back to the beginning. Okay, we're right back at the beginning of that. Oh, I forgot to cut it. Yeah, no, I didn't. I cut it. Okay, good. I thought I forgot to cut it. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to get a piece of a water soluble stabilizer. Remember I told you guys that I was gonna forget because I literally always forget my water soluble stabilizer, and I have every intention of. So this is the water soluble stabilizer, and this will help. Yes, Rachel, I'm just a hot mess. This will help um, reduce the thread sinking into the material. Okay, and I only need this for the eyes and the nose. If you put a name on yours, you want to make sure that you have a piece large enough for both the eyes, the nose, and the name. Okay, so we're gonna put this right on top. If you want to like secure it down with something, water soluble stabilizer does move, y'all. It does move, okay? But it's fine. All right, I didn't have to like cut that thread out because honestly, it's gonna go back and stitch in the same exact location anyway. But this water soluble stabilizer is going to definitely help us. Uh-oh, why did it go there? Oh, you're good. I was about to say, like, why did it do that? I just need to cut that. Let's see. What did Shay Shay say? Oh, yes, Shay Shay. Definitely sending prayers to hubby. Hey, Miss Sonia. Doing pretty good. And this doesn't take this is a very, very quick project. Very, very quick. Yes. Thank you guys for reminding me. I must have sensed that you guys were reminding me about the topper. Thank you. I knew that I was gonna forget. I told y'all that I was gonna forget it. Words mean everything, but I know I always forget the topper. All the time. All right. All right. I did do a triple beam stitch for that last one, didn't I? I don't remember changing it, y'all. Now I want to look. Oh, I did. I didn't remember changing it. All right. So the next one that we're going to do is we're going to place the yellow fabric on top. Now we're going to place them face to face. So this side is I forgot I'm on this camera, not the computer. This side is the front of the material. This is the back. So the holes are sunken in on the back. So this side is what we're going to place on top of the other fabric. Okay. So here we have, this is the front, this is the back. All right. So we're going to place the front of the fabric face down, just like this, and it's going to cover that entire piece. Okay. Oh, I can go ahead and remove this stabilizer. I'm going to hoop out. If you have this machine and you don't know which button is your hoop out button, this is your hoop out button. Okay. So your hoop out button, you press that, and then your hoop hoops out. Okay. And you press that for it to hoop back in. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to remove this stabilizer. And I'm going to keep it because I can still use that piece. It's a nice piece. And I just need to cut. See my trim? I need to open up the bottom plate, the embroidery arm, to do my trim. It's trimming, but not like how it should trim. Okay, so again, we're going to take this and we're going to put this face down, front and back. And we're just going to put it in. Now, if you feel more comfortable putting like some tape on here so it doesn't move, you can. But I'm going to put some tape. You can put tape or you can use the 505 glue stick. Totally up to you. I'll just put a little bit of tape because I don't want it to move. And I know that this material is a little bumpy, so I'm just going to tape it down. But, you know, it's up to you, but I would recommend just to make sure that you don't mess it up. But sometimes my material will move and I'm like, how did you move? If you were just good and then it moves and then you have to get a seam ripper and take all your seams to redo it. Or just trash the project. You might want to do that tonight. You did a lot of work tonight. If you guys have any other projects you want to do with this, let me know. I will do one of the yarn to show you guys how to do it, digitizing yarn, but I won't do it until after Mr. Linda does her video because she's supposed to do a tutorial about it. All right, so let's hoop this back in with the same button. The same button hoops out and hoops in. This is going to be our last step, y'all. So let's go ahead. We're going to press start. And all this is going to do now is stitch back around. Y'all know what? I just did my starting place at the other place. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to start it. So when I cut it, I should have started it on the other side, and that way it would have just started there and around. But it's fine. So this is stitching it down. Let me see what I'm missing. It's going good. Let me see. What did I miss? Sorry, y'all. Oh, I think I'm frozen. I haven't been frozen in a long time over here. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if this works. I haven't been frozen in a long time. Yo, I was frozen. Remember, that's another. I don't know why. Always when I'm here using this camera, and I don't know if it's the camera. I don't think it's a camera, but I always get frozen somehow. Like I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. It is very slippery, Rachel. I love you and Evie's mug, bruh. So cute today. It's bigger, bigger. It is bigger. Yes, it is bigger, bigger. And it's bigger, bigger. It's it's Latricia's fault that it's bigger, bigger. It's Latricia's fault. All right, so we're all done. We're done with Brody. I stitched right. I tried to pull it up some more, but this is what we have. We're gonna go back to the table. Latricia wanted us to do a big one, so we did a big one. And I really didn't have to do this the opening so large, but we did. We did a large opening. It's okay. So I'm gonna remove Brody. I'm gonna add the table. Let me move this. Let me close out on the iPad, guys. We're not gonna do Brody anymore. But if you guys have any suggestions about anything else that you want to do in Embrilliance or wherever, let me know. But I still gotta wait for Miss Merlinda. Miss Merlinda, did you record that video today? Did you? What did I miss, y'all? Yeah, it's okay. I stitched the tape. Sure did. It's okay. I'm just gonna move it out the way. All right, we got it. We're good now. We're good. We're good. All right, so now we're gonna take this apart. Evie, were you here when I was using the shower grip? Even the shower grip, because the shower grip stays with Brody. The shower grip made an appearance tonight. All right, y'all. So we're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put this up, and this mighty hoop again. I know you guys see me use a mighty hoop with the marquee, but this one is for the EM-1010. Because remember the brackets, okay? If you guys didn't see So Good this weekend, So Good was really, really so good because we talked a lot about just technical things with embroidery. And we tried to answer as many questions as we could. So I would totally check So Good out. All right, so here is our file or our design. Let me have a seat. We're gonna cut. I'm gonna cut around. I am gonna leave this little tab here, but I'm gonna cut around. You don't need to cut close to like how when you're doing embroidery. I like to leave a little bit of room here. So if you were to use your if you were to use cutaway stabilizer, that's perfectly fine, okay? Because you would just remove it. I just use the cut, not cutaway, tearaway stabilizer. I use cutaway because that's what I had in this room, and I really didn't want to go into the other room to get um, the tearaway. It really didn't matter to me, to be honest. But you could totally use tearaway. You don't have to use um, cutaway. All right, so I'm just cutting around, just like this. And then what you can do is you can cut like little slits just to make it a little more flexible, but it's gonna be fine. You guys will see. But remember, this is just gonna be turned right side out. So if you followed along, you made your first in project. This was all in the hoop. It's a very basic in the hoop project, but an in the hoop project nonetheless. All right, so I'm just gonna leave this like this, and I'm just gonna cut right here. And I'm gonna leave that little loop right there. And then we're gonna cut right here. We're gonna cut more of that. So that'll give me something like right here. I'll just be able to fold that in when we get ready to do it. All right, so I'm gonna get my other scissors. Just let you know, MINKY fabric is very, very messy. You can see. That's what, Barb, I have some. I don't know where they are. I can't find a lot of my stuff. I can't even find my ratchet, Barb. I don't know where it's at. So I'm just gonna cut. Make sure you don't cut your I may have to order me some more, Barb. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. But just cut a little bit here. Oh, that's not cutting good. But don't cut your thread. Don't cut your stitch. I'm just cutting little slits. This one be fast. This is just going inside of my classroom, y'all. I'm gonna put it on my little couch in my classroom. I may need to make me another one though. I should have stitched some sunflowers on the ears. You want more of this, and do like Barb said and have some pinky shears. I'm gonna cut that a little bit more though. I should have stitched some sunflowers on here. That would have been perfect. I can't believe I didn't even think of that. I'm trying not to cut my stitches, so I'm trying to do this and not cut. All right, that's gonna be good. That's good enough for us. All right, so now we're just gonna take this and we're going to turn this inside out. Again, this is like a 2-inch opening. Remember we measured it, which is fine. It's going through very nicely. I could have did less, but it's fine. Yes, Barb. Oh, what did Rachel do? Shay, why are you blaming her? So now remember we have these little ears that we need to kind of get through here. So I'm feeling them out, but remember I have my chopsticks. So the chopsticks will also help too. And I'm gonna cut that extra little thread off of those eyes. And when I did that, I forgot to use the water soluble. Doesn't look like much right now, does it? Let me cut his eyes real quick. I'm just cutting. Okay. Cut a little piece more. So I'm going to take my chopsticks and we're just going to push those ears out. I think I like the two-toned peep. good. And push it out. Okay. All right, those are our ears. See, this is why you want to make sure you cut. I should cut a little bit better there, but it's fine. Just cut it out. We're going to get our stuffing. I just have regular polyfill and we're going to stuff it. You needed to get some sleep. You needed to get some sleep. All right, so but this is where the pinking shears it matters, okay? All right, so look, let's get our fill. I actually had some fill open. This is the polyfill that I'm using. Got this from JOANN. I'm a little bit not happy with JOANN right now, but I get it, but I don't. All right, we're just gonna stuff. And that opening, that's where that opening comes in at. Now you can make your opening as big or small as you'd like. I don't usually like for it to be too much because I usually like to glue it. Chopsticks are your friends. So when you're doing this, you just want to make sure that you get that stuffing in the ear. So you can start off with a little bit first. Oh. But I'm just making sure I get some of that stuffing in the ear. Okay. But these would be really cute with baskets. Like you can do a basket, put a name on it. For little babies, if it's their first Easter, you could give this to them and put like something maybe on the back, like my first Easter, stuff like that, like that. That's really. So now we just gotta stuff it up some more. Yes. Yeah, Kristen, you gonna sew it? Cause you can totally do this with a sewing machine. Get your plastic eyes. Oh, can I crochet a peep? I'm pretty sure I could crochet a peep. Well, I'm not pretty sure that I can crochet a peep, but I'm pretty sure that a peep can be or has already been crocheted. And, I'm pretty sure that has already been done. But I haven't done it. Come on, little peep. Uh-oh, I need to get more fill. But see, that's still not enough fill. This is a pretty nice sized peep, y'all. All that marshmallow. I mean, I just thought about it right now, but I'm pretty sure, people have been doing things for a long time. Just because I thought about it today doesn't mean that nobody else ever thought about it. All right, we just, pretty sure a lot of people have crocheted a peep. Yo, this is taking up a lot of fill. Thank you, Jamie. What did Lisa say? Not stuffing stuffies is so weird to watch. Okay, let me put. But you can customize these if you like, whatever you want to do. See, I think I need a little more stuffies. Just a little bit more. And then I'll feel good about it. Look at our peep. I do think the smaller peeps are cuter though. Just my personal opinion. Okay. See, I got a little bit of. Try to make sure that you fill up the top part first. Do you see how I have like this crease right here? And I'm not taking this out. So you just gotta kind of push it in better than I did initially. Like fill that top part up and then move to the other parts. Because I think I'm kind of over full right here in this area. The Easter candy's too sweet. Thanks, Rachel. All right, I'm just trying to. I want it to be nice and full, but all right. Come on, peeps. I'm gonna put a little bit more at the bottom, and then we're gonna be done. I'm gonna glue it. Actually, we're gonna put a little bit here at the bottom, and then we're going to get our glue. Now, again, you don't have to use glue. You can stitch this by hand if you want. Um, I'm going to use glue because it's just easier. So what I do is I kind of tuck. So that's why I kept a little bit of that part where I didn't cut close. And so I'm just going to tuck this just like this. And then this part is folded over too. And then the yellow is folded. And so I'm going to place glue here. And then I'm just going to clamp it shut. Okay, where's my little spatula? I have a spatula, but I don't see it. I really don't want to get this stuck on my hands, but I don't know where it's at. Thanks, Miss Jocelyn McElveen. To make for good feeling. The yarns. I never thought about that, Kristen. All right, so I'm just gonna take this. I am just simply going to place the glue right here on that fold. Okay, and then this part that's folded, I'm gonna mesh it together. So the glue is just going to go right here. And a little goes a long way. You don't have to glob it on. You do not have to glob it on. If you have a better way that you like, please share. Please share it. I can't, I don't know what I do with that spatula. Did I leave it in the other room? So then this part that's folded like this. I have like a silicone spatula that works wonderfully for me. I'm just gonna, when I need to like make sure it's tucked in, so we're gonna use this, and then I'm gonna use this to clamp it shut, and then I'm gonna use this, and then I also have my another wood clamper, and that's what I use to clamp it shut to get it all nice and stuck. And then we're gonna let this just sit like this for a little bit, and then it's gonna turn out like that. We have our little peep stuffies. See, this one has a name on it. This one, no name. But I think it looks cute. You see the little back? I should have had like a little puff, a little pom pom. Marilyn, I should go make a pom pom really quick. Hmm. You did? I need to see. I need to see that, Kristen. I'll do it. I'll make one. Crochet bunny patterns. I'm gonna look for that and do one for Easter. The little. I love the little one. I love the little one. And here I just need to kind of play around with the stuffing up here to kind of get it up a little bit more. Just to fill those ears out a little bit more. I probably should have. So when you're stuffing it, especially with the ears, make sure your ears are nice and full first. Like this one came out pretty good. This one seems like I put more stuffing in this one. I could have put more stuffing in here, but it's fine. It's just going in my classroom. I could have put more stuffing. Oh, nerdier. Thank you, girl. We're gonna make one. There's a free peep crochet pattern on Ravelry. I need to check that out. Thank you, Renee. I'll check that out. Thanks, Renee. To put your stuff in. Thank you, Bar. The bumps on the yellow minky. Actually, you can, Miss Gail. You can feel it, and that's a good idea too. I didn't even think about that. You can feel it. You can feel the bumps. Thank you, Latricia. Latricia, are you gonna make one? Just glue a cotton ball on its butt. Thank you, Chris. That will be easy. That will be easy. All right, we're pretty much good, y'all. I was gonna try to let this dry a little bit to take them apart, but I kind of leave it on for a few minutes. But we're all done, and it's 10 o'clock. We've been on for 2 hours, and I said we weren't gonna be on all night. We were gonna try to be quick, but when you do like this project, once we got to the machine, as you guys can see, it did not take long to do. 5 minutes. The prep is what took the most time. So cutting the fabric, that didn't even take a lot of time. But that part, but designing, and honestly, because I was explaining it, that's what took so long. Designing doesn't even take that long. So it's not, this is actually a fairly simple project and start, especially if you want to do. Did I charger? Yeah, I'm so glad I forgot to even charge my phone camera. I can't believe I forgot that, and it did not die on me. Thank the Lord. He was looking out, but I can tell you, I have all this minky fabric on my dress. I do. Y'all see, like you can't even see all the minky fabric. Look, all that minky fabric is on my desk, but guess what? It's fine. We made something very cute. We have our little peep, and we have our other peep. You can't see the yellow. Well, you can see it. Super cute. I'm gonna make a few more of these. Not tonight, but I'm gonna make a few more of these, and I can kind of give these away. But super cute. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, ATV Marketing. All right, y'all. Thank you, Miss Roslyn McElveen. All right, guys. So we made our peeps. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you will make something as well. Like maybe play around with it. Even if you did, remember we did the heart stuffies. But if you want to make like your own kind of like in the hoop type of projects, you can. This can totally be done with a sewing machine. The only thing is that you're not going to have embroidered eyes or an embroidered name on it, right? But you can do it with the sewing machine. But if not, you can totally make this now, hopefully. What we learned today, you can transfer that into any other digitizing software. It does not have to be inside of Embrilliance. It can be inside of any other software. Thanks, Evie and Latricia. Latricia, I want to see a picture of yours. I could put a little bow tie or a bow. Oh, that would be cute. That would be cute. Maybe a crocheted little bow. And I can put a little bow here. A bow there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I should have scrolled up. Thank you guys. Kind of embroider with a sewing machine. Well, I saw your K, Kristen, that you did for the yarn. That was pretty cool. I saw the K that you made. That was really cool. Yes, before cutting it. Thank you guys. All right, y'all. I love you guys. Please use this. I come on here for for lives or videos to show you guys how to do things and for you to try those things out too and see what you like, and hopefully they're helpful. And if you do decide to do this, please let me know. Like, you can put a picture in the Facebook group so that we can see it. I want to see what you make too. Hey, Miss Sharon Davenport, thank you. Thank you, Miss Sharon Davenport. So I love you guys. It's been fun working in my old crafting room. It's been fun. We may do a few more other things. Let me know if you guys want more things with Brody, or if you want more Embrilliance. I like Embrilliance, but I will always tell you guys I work more in Chroma and I work more in Adobe Illustrator, but I will definitely show you guys the other softwares. But I love you guys. Please remember to be kind to each other. Oh, Delon didn't see it. I use Glue Girl. I use Glue Girl to glue his little bum. Cause yeah. So this one and this one. I could have put more stuffing in him, but he's fine. He's still cute. He's gonna go in my classroom. Let's see what I miss. Anything else? Yep. That'll be on the inside. Thank you. Chris is like the sensei of stitchery. Her and Barb. So that's my little bunny. I need to give him a name. But I am gonna say this, guys. Please remember to be kind. Yes, you can see it. What do you mean you can't see it? You are a hot mess. Please remember to be kind. First of all, be kind to yourself. I'm gonna start there. I think that being kind to others is the most important thing, but sometimes not sometimes, all the time, be kind to yourself. Okay? I feel like when you're kind to yourself, when you're loving yourself, you're able to love each other, because you want to love others the way that you love yourself, and you want to extend that love. So how you treat others is truly a reflection of you and who you are. So always remember that. So if you're mean or nasty to people, then that's basically saying that that's you. And I don't know anybody in this crafted community that's mean or nasty, because I've had the opportunity and the honor to meet and talk to so many of you guys. And every person that I have met has been very, very helpful, very genuine, very caring. So please always extend that to other people. Please remember to show people grace, because at least in my own personal opinion, if I had to want this shirt on, in my opinion, so much grace has been extended to me that I don't have a right to not extend grace to somebody else. And sometimes it's hard, but it all works out for the better, for you and for the person that you're extending the grace to. So be kind, smile. When you're walking down the road, in the mall, or anywhere, and sometimes you might not speak because you're just more introverted and you just don't, that's not you. But if somebody speaks to you, speak back. Speak back. It doesn't hurt. I just want to share that. I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful. I don't take for granted that you spent 2 hours. Some of you spent the entire 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 58 seconds at this point with me. Some of you guys spent 20 minutes. Some of you guys spent 5 minutes. But how much ever time you spent with me, that was valuable. Because time is priceless. So I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget, tomorrow Delonda will be on for Romeo Wednesday, finally at her correct time. Thursday, Marilyn will be on. Friday, I will be back. I think we're going to be working with the DTF printer. So I have the Pro Colored K8 DTF printer, and I think we're going to be working with that. I actually do like it. It was super duper easy. I will have a video. I wanted the video to to premiere today, but it'll premiere tomorrow. It'll premiere. I don't. It'll probably premiere maybe early or maybe after Delonda's live, and it may just be a video. And then Thursday, don't forget Maryland. Friday, me. Saturday or Sunday is so good. I don't know. We haven't decided yet. And then Sunday, check Evie out. And then Monday, Angel will be on. If you have a single needle embroidery machine or you're looking at the pull-in, I have the pull-in EO5. Angel has the pull-in EO6, and she showed it yesterday, last night. So you can check out Angel B Designs for more pull-in information so that you can see. Okay? I love you guys. It doesn't hurt to be nice. Be kind. Until next time, y'all. Later.